sustainable development of this nation through a fit-for-purpose, responsive, relevant education that reflects our unique identity and culture as well as our aspirations. Many stakeholders have expressed concern that they may have been left out in the constitution of this working group. I believe that one of your most urgent tasks is to send a strong signal that your operations and practices shall demonstrate inclusivity, public participation, stakeholder engagement by endeavoring to listen to every voice and, wherever possible, enlist necessary assistance to ensure that your objectives are realized. There is no doubt that as a nation, we are united by seriousness about who we are and who we aspire to be. It is critical that we are able to provide assurance that the means and ends of education are aligned with national intent as expressed in our administration's plan, National Development Roadmap, as well as the Constitution. This is especially urgent because while there is evident vigor in the discrete activities of various actors in the education sector, we need to be able to say the same about their overall coherence. To do so, we must undertake a summative evaluation that answers our most important questions and resolves the contradictions, overlaps, and other inefficiencies holding us back from the promise of a more robust performance. From early childhood education all the way to university, we must forge a path that coordinates the players in the subsectors and reconcile the workings of the subsectors to produce a coherent framework for education system governance in order to align it with broader national aspirations. The rule of law, good governance, global competitiveness, economic growth, national stability, and culture depend on a sound educational system focused on the full expression of its citizens' capabilities. Kenya's commitment to the provision of quality education is demonstrable. We invest 5.7% of our GDP, or 28% of the national budget, in education. This is significantly above both the global and the sub-Saharan average, and actually compares favorably with the international benchmarks. The big issue we have to resolve relates to quality and equity in general, and especially as it relates to access in arid and semi-arid regions, informal settlements, and areas affected by high incidence of poverty. Indeed, obstacles to schools' participation in these communities not only undermine our achievements in promoting access through the free primary education and free day secondary education program, that to a large extent affect children from disadvantaged and vulnerable backgrounds, compounding the social justice problem. This can be seen in the fact that over the past 10 years, survival rates in primary and secondary schools have dropped, and as a result, many school-age children are out of school. We therefore look forward to recommendations that will enable us formulate aggressive affirmative measures to urgently bridge the gap in access to education in disadvantaged counties and communities. Our administration is committed to the domestication of teacher recruitment and deployment at entry level, in keeping with the best practices set out in UNESCO teacher deployment practice. Connected to this is the urgent need to manage challenges resulting from teacher delocalization. Accordingly, we have committed to replace the delocalization policy with a nationalization program that offers incentives for those teachers who choose to serve outside their local communities and emphasizes productivity. Our plan also commits us to invest in a minimum essential package of capacities and facilities in primary and secondary schools. The aim is to assure consistent access to basic services. It also cushions those schools with low enrollment and enables them meet school operational fixed costs. As you may be aware, a vibrant technical and vocational education and training system lies at the core of our bottom-up model. Our commitment is to expand and equip TVET institutions across the country to be able to absorb more than 500,000 youths who graduate from basic education institutions annually. To unlock the immense benefits associated with this endeavor, the operational policy and legal framework across the entire education and training sector must be rationalized. We therefore look forward to receiving and implementing your clear recommendations for the overdue appropriate review. Indeed, coherence in the policy framework is indispensable for our educational system to support rapid socio-economic transformation. Over the years, numerous legal and regulatory apparatus have been established to deliver various mandates within the sector. As a result, many institutions often perform similar roles, render identical services, or address the same issues, sometimes without consultation or coordination, resulting in unnecessary competition, conflict, and wastage of scarce resources. Your recommendations on the synchronization of TVET training to maximize synergies and coherently deliver on important national priorities are much anticipated. The competence-based education and training curriculum is intended to resolve the skills mismatch that exists between the training system and the labor market. It establishes guidelines for the implementation of an industry and business-led TVET model, which strictly enforces industry-validated occupational standards under the TVET Act. To guarantee consistent output of competitive, skilled workforce, we urge you to establish an effective linkage between the competence-based curriculum, CBC, and the competence-based education and training, CBET, and recommend modalities of which university academic programs can be reviewed for better alignment with the labor market demand. The prevailing education and training system majorly consists of silos whereby programs are irreconcilably different with one institution and the next. As a result, education is cumbersome and expensive, denying learners the flexibility and mobility that work and life often demands, and forcing them to make suboptimal choices. Ladies and gentlemen, you have an opportunity to explore ways of developing and implementing a sound national credit accumulation and transfer framework that applies across the entire education and training system. The university is the apex of knowledge, creation, and dispersal, and thus is essential to sustainable development of any nation. Through research and critical inquiry, the university provides solutions to problems facing society and helps countries anchor development agendas on a sound foundation of knowledge. We need our universities to reposition themselves more powerfully and in the national development agenda by playing a more pronounced role in education. This calls for a review of curricula as well as a structure and modes of delivery. It is time to recalibrate the university curriculum to incorporate more local content with synchronizing it with the aspirations and imperatives of the current era. The demands of industry and concerns of the community must resonate throughout university facilities and reflect its outputs. It is time to deliver a holistic education experience that takes into account that optional intersection of the classroom and the community as learning spaces. This calls for the achievement of the indispensable qualities of transformational education, provision of adequate learning resources, assurance of curricular relevance, balance between theory and practice, engaged faculty with high expectations, and motivated students. In turn, campuses must be enriched with opportunities through robust career services, diverse co-curricular activities, high student engagement, employer involvement, sustainable incubation of innovations. For its part, communities must contribute through internship and service learning opportunities. Modern and emerging teaching techniques must find their way into our lecture rooms, and education must attain the quality that anticipates a stronger value proposition for universities by investing multidisciplinary skills in students. multi-skill learning and flexibility prepares youth for jobs of the future. In a time when nearly half of the existing careers are going to be extinct and tomorrow jobs are yet unknown, how do universities nevertheless prepare young people to remain relevant? That is the question of the day. This question this working group must grapple with. Given our development aspirations, globally competitive universities are now an existential imperative for our country. Exposure beyond our borders and the exchange of ideas on a global scale is therefore unavoidable. Collaborations, linkages, networking, joint consultancies, and community outreach programs must become a regular feature of higher education if we are to have any chance of achieving our goals. Today, Kenya has more than 70 universities. Have we as a nation felt their impact significantly? This is the disconnect that you are invited to dissect and resolve. We are looking to you for ways positioning Kenya to harvest the array of possibilities with which our rich spectrum education and training institutions is endowed. We call on you especially to calibrate the optimal balance between science, technology, engineering and mathematics, and social sciences, because just as men shall not live by bread alone, radical socio-economic transformation shall not be powered by science, technology, engineering and mathematics alone. We want our highest levels of education and knowledge to stay grounded in our community grassroots and establish their relevance, feasibility, and positive influence. There is an inevitable bottom-up dimension to university impact and vigor, grounded on strong engagements with communities. This is indispensable for courses in the social sciences, agriculture, health, education, and business, among others. Finally, our nation's progress to the next level of development will be powered by achievements in science, in innovation, and technology transfer. Commercialization and patterning of research outputs is key to making it sustainable by anchoring a strong incentive framework in the research agenda. It is therefore urgent for communities, universities, and industries to seamlessly be interlinked. Universities that demonstrate a high index of effective interlinkage will be more competitive and able to unlock the next frontier of sustainability through increased student enrollment and funding. Your terms of reference are self-explanatory. Your capabilities are above reproach. Your commitment is beyond question. It is now your turn to get to work and demonstrate to Kenya what promise lies within reach, waiting to be unlocked through appropriate educational sector reforms. Your recommendations are highly awaited, and none more so than those touching on the CBC, which every household anticipates and which will touch on the future education of more than 8 million learners. This is a heavy mandate you have been called to bear. Nevertheless, we are confident that you are more than equal to the task. The government, led by His Excellency the President, looks forward to regular briefings on your progress towards your final report, whose contents are eagerly expected. I wish you good luck in this assignment, and may God bless you. Thank you very much. I just wanted to say, the outgoing CS, we want to thank you for your commitment in assisting